Healthy Gut, Module 4, Meal Planning. 6 best foods for gut health. Number 1 is bone broth. Bone broth contains all the essential amino acids our body needs, including proline, glycine, and L-glutamine. L-glutamine is an amino acid that really helps seal the intestinal lining or leaky gut. Bone broth also contains collagen, which is really good for our hair, skin, and nails. Number 2 is coconut oil. Coconut oil has antimicrobial properties, antibacterial. It's an antifungal. So if you have any yeast issue, it's really great for that. It's also a good healthy fat to use in your cooking. Coconut oil has a high smoke point, making it really good for high heat cooking, so it doesn't turn into a trans fat. Number 3 is fermented vegetables. Things like sauerkraut, fermented cabbage, pickles, kimchi. All of these vegetables contain probiotics and prebiotics, which are essential for a healthy microbiome. Number 4 is goat's milk kefir and just plain goat's milk. We specifically recommend raw for 24 hours because it has the A2 beta casein. Number 5, blueberries. Blueberries with that rich blue color has the highest amount of antioxidants. And then number six, orange and yellow foods. Things like squash are really great for the spleen, pancreas, and stomach. Planning meals. So here are some tips that we really recommend when you are planning your meals for the week. Be sure, this sounds simple, but make sure you add in foods that you love. You don't want to force yourself to eat something that you don't like just because it's considered healthy. So find foods that you love and incorporate those into your weekly meals so that you actually look forward to your meals. Use a recipe book. We have one referenced in this program. All of the recipes contained in this recipe book are approved for the elimination diet and the maintenance protocol. So use that book. Just keep in mind, play with it. You can adjust the meals and the ingredients as you would like. You can take things out. You can substitute things, change up the amounts of the ingredients. Just be sure to stick to your yes and your no foods for whatever phase you're in, whether it's the elimination phase or the maintenance phase. Be sure to stick to those lists. If you have the option to do so, we really stress that we recommend going organic and non-GMO. If that's not available in your location, just do the best that you can. You can also purchase organic frozen foods like fruits and vegetables if that's the only option that you have. Those are still really great. And then try to use glass jars, containers, and cups over plastic Tupperware. When you're making your meal plan, these are just some things that we want to remind you of. No calorie counting is required, so don't even look at the calories. You're going to be eating whole foods anyway, so there's no labels to look at. Get your protein from approved sources. Make sure you're using your list. Keep soups on hand for light meals and snacks. Make sure they are approved per your food list for the elimination program or the reintroduction phase. Incorporate smoothies and or fresh pressed juices. Be sure that each meal contains healthy fats. Eat when you're hungry. Eat until you're full. And then this is a great tool, a good diagram to look at while you're planning your meals. This is a visual, like we said before, we're not going to be counting our calories or our macronutrients. This is just a good visual of a plate and how it should look. There are just a couple things that we are going to change on here because we are doing the elimination diet. We want to make sure that instead of grains, half of your plate is going to be vegetables. Okay, half of your plate is vegetables. We're not going to be having fruit with our meals because that interferes with the digestion process of proteins. So fruits are only to be consumed as a snack alone. So when you're looking at your meal plate, half of your plate will be vegetables. For the time being, we're eliminating grains. You can replace this with a bone broth or some other food on your list. And then a quarter of your plate is going to be a good high quality protein on your list. And then dairy is going to be removed during the program while we're working on your gut health. So instead, we recommend doing some sort of coconut milk or coconut water that's unsweetened, or you can just opt for plain water, or even a caffeine-free tea would be good. We've included meal plans to guide you in the beginning of your journey, in the beginning of your elimination diet process that you can use. And then we also have templates that you can use to create your own meal plans, pull your own recipes from our recipe book, help you plan your meals out for the day to save time and be more efficient. We recommend having your meal planning template, your recipe book, and your grocery list all at the same time. Sit down on a table, have everything spread out, and write down according to what recipes you pick for your meal plan. Then you can divide those ingredients onto your grocery list in categories. This is going to save you time. You're going to be more efficient. You'll have less time to spend searching for things in the grocery store. It's more organized this way, giving you less stress. Here's some other tips. We recommend eating seasonally if you can, and eating local. Eating clean and organic is easier when you can get the foods locally to you. And there's a lot of reasons to eat seasonally. One, it costs less money. When you eat seasonally, you eat when there is an abundance of that food. When it's in more demand with less supply, it will be more expensive. Number two, locally grown food tastes better. Food that is not in season is grown in a hothouse or brought in from different parts of the world, and it doesn't ripen the same way or taste as good. Number three, eating seasonally, you will get more nutrients in those foods. If you're eating foods that are brought in and have traveled, you're going to lose those nutrients. So if you're eating food that's closer to home, there's going to be less travel time and it will not lose as many nutrients. It's almost impossible in most climates to buy local all the time, so it is a little bit more difficult. But if you can do this as much as possible, you're really going to notice a difference. It's best if you can grow it yourself, if you have the area and the means to do so. Next would be finding a local farmer's market or community-supported agriculture. And then when all else fails, choose what is in season someplace else, like at a local grocery store. Be sure to eat clean. You don't have to buy organic produce to reduce your risk of chemical contamination. The following list is from the Environmental Working Group, and it tells you what fruits and vegetables contain the most chemicals and which ones are least contaminated. The Dirty Dozen has a list of fruits and veggies that have been found to have the highest amount of pesticides and chemicals in them. So we recommend for sure buying the foods on this list organic if you can. And then the Clean 15 has fruits and vegetables that have been shown to have the least amount of pesticides or chemicals in them. So these you can get away with buying conventionally or non-organic. Meal planning tips. Try to consume a cup of bone broth or meat stock with every meal. Many people have difficulty digesting fats in the beginning of switching to a new diet plan, so you may only be able to tolerate a few tablespoons while the body is healing. You'll also want to be sure that your body isn't turning it into an allergen before you ingest it repeatedly day after day. You want to make sure that you're combining vegetables as far as raw, fermented, and cooked, with meats and fish at each meal. So at each meal, you want to have a good combination, lots of good vegetables, cooked different ways with good high quality proteins. This is going to help to balance the pH. Meat and fish accumulate as acid in the body, and vegetables have a strong alkalizing effect. Balance between acid and alkaline is really important in the healing process. Eat fruit, except for avocado, by itself and in between meals, because fruit does interfere with the digestion of protein that's coming from meat. Buy local, organic, and pesticide-free as much as possible. Include natural fats in every meal. Good fats come from meat, ghee, coconut, and cold-pressed olive oil. Kitchen hacks for a healthy gut. Cookware. It's time to look at what kind of pots and pans you're using. If they have nonstick coating, you're subjecting yourself to organic pollutants. Once these chemicals are in your body, they do damage and are very hard to detoxify because it's all stuck inside of the fat in your body and can cause you to actually gain weight. If you haven't already, go out and buy stainless steel, cast iron, ceramic, and porcelain. Travel tips. Water. Be sure to drink 8 ounces of water every hour you're in the air to avoid dehydration. So if you're traveling in an airplane, make sure you're drinking your water, staying hydrated. Move it. Turn on your favorite music, or better yet, sign up for a class and dance. You'll be sweating in a few minutes and you won't even know that you're exercising. You're now ready for the next module.